All right, everybody. Howdy, howdy. Right now, there's two. Hopefully, soon there will be three of us.
Yes.
But right now, it is a boys' night here in the Coker House. Jess is out and about, so I've got dog duty and dad duty and all the duties. What's
I
going
have my
on?
ladies with me. My dog and my wife are both here, so it's not just me by myself tonight at my
Well,
house.
Well, before we went on air, I was just filling Azkhalon in here that the big thing in the Coker house today is that the boys bought a MetaQuest 3, the newest virtual reality console thing. We haven't done anything VR before, but Chad had been pestering us for a week and we kept saying no, no, no. And he decided to count his money today and had enough to cover the vast majority. So
That's awesome.
I played a little Beat Saber myself earlier this afternoon for a couple songs, and it's pretty fun and definitely a good way to work out too.
Yeah, I played a little bit of Beat Saber. I played a little bit of VR stuff. I don't have a whole lot of experience with it, but yeah, like I'm a little bit like nervous about it because like getting older, I don't know if I can handle all of that.
I was
But I'm
I was
interested to
curious.
try it one day.
Yeah, I was curious the same way because the boys were doing okay with it, and I was like, well, let me see how my old self can do. And it didn't throw me off. Jess has yet to do it yet,
Okay.
but Jess, there's something about VR that terrifies her. Like seriously, terrifies her. I don't know what it is, but the last time we did something, she like freaked out. So
Oh
I'm
man.
hoping that maybe Beat Saber will be a nice little easy thing into her trying to dip her toes into some kind of virtual reality
Yeah.
stuff. But I don't know if it was kind of claustrophobia or what it may have been.
Or she might have seen too many of those videos where people like accidentally punching each other because
That,
they're they get so into the VR game.
that's true too. I mean, but luckily we only have the one system, and everybody's given whoever's using it a pretty wide
Like,
berth.
that's
Except the
good.
dogs. The dogs, of course, have no idea. So the dogs are everywhere. So may punch or accidentally hit a dog, but while doing the VR. But luckily it hadn't happened yet. But there have been a few close calls.
Yeah, if I ever get one, I'll have to do it in a room and close the door so my dog can't come in because I'll end up tripping over her or breaking my neck or something.
Well, hey, let me show you this and whoever's on real quick because I'm going to put something in the chat here in a little bit. But I wanted to showcase this because been working on a little something over the last couple weeks, and it's still not fully complete. But hold on, I'm working on getting it up. But looky here, we've got new Poker
Nice.
Culture merch. It was in the it was in my goals, my list of things to do. So we still have the original 3 shirts here, but as you can see now, instead of just the singular color that you were forced to buy, there are now 6 different color options, and then we have the same 3 logos, the same 3 styles in hoodies
Nice.
with just 4 color options for the hoodies there. And then still working on getting magnets as well as stickers added to the site there
Awesome.
for folks that may want them. But again, that was something that I put on the New Year's list that we wanted to cover, we wanted to do. And so another notch that I can check off there. And again, for those watching or those watching on the replay, I always mention this with my merch or with our merch here is we don't make a dime off of this stuff. So it's not there as a way of being a cash grab for us. The only cost is going directly to our friend that runs the website for us and makes the products herself out of her little shop in her home. And then she gets them out to you. So they literally are as cheap as we could possibly make them. So let me go ahead and put that link there in the chat for those that may want to look at it.
I got somebody. Sorry, Zach, not to interrupt.
Oh, you
One
fine?
person in the Discord said something is wrong with the chat. Okay, never mind. Maybe it's working now. I think they were having some issues with the chat earlier, but
we got a couple folks in the chat here.
okay, there we go. So it seems to be working now.
Discord folks, I'm sure they're Azkhalon fans because most of the Coker Culture crew is probably in bed. Because I mean it's 9 o'clock. I know it's Saturday night, but man, I'm tired. Oh, I just noticed your sign.
Oh yeah.
But I love it. I hope Jason doesn't mind that we stole his fandom's name that we bestowed upon him to call ourselves the Nerd Herd tonight.
Well, it's an honor for him,
right?
And
that's what channel. I'm thinking. Like, here you go, Jason. We're giving the Nerd Herd shout outs. I hope he's able to make it on here tonight because I don't know if you've seen it or not, but his hat stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like this week, the hat stuff, it's finally taking off. And I want to say he even got a business to come in, and I don't want to say sponsor, but like they're going to carry his hats in their shop.
That's
or
really
something
cool.
Like that. So he's off to a major success and major start with that.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's got something really cool going there. So I hope he has nothing but success with it. And that's really cool. He got somebody that, is going to carry the hats in their store. So that's awesome.
So what's been going on in the world of Azkhalon this week?
Well, we finished indoor track, so went straight into outdoor track. So I've been really busy with that. That's why I haven't posted a video in a week, but I did record the finale for Man of the Adventurer 2 finally. So I'm hoping to get that out tomorrow. And I got a couple other things that I've been working on, more secretive stuff that I don't want to reveal yet. And then I'm working on a video, which is going to take me a little bit of time, kind of my wish list for college football 26. I want to try to get that out pretty soon. I did a post on Facebook in this college football 25 group that I'm a part of, and I got almost 200 comments about features and stuff that people want to see in the next game. So I'm going to kind of compile a bunch of that, get some of the common stuff in addition to sharing my own things that I want. So I'm really excited about that one, but that was going to take a little bit of time.
That's what I was about to say. It sounds like it's going to be another lengthy one for you.
Yes. So I'm looking forward to it, but not looking forward to it at the same time because the editing process is going to be a bear for that one. But
I believe it. I mean, we got back to our 2 videos this week, which was nice. And we should have 2 this coming week again without any issue. Because we actually, you said secret videos. I got a secret video coming out Monday, so I'm pretty excited. We had a little. We were invited to an exclusive event.
Awesome.
This morning, and so we got to, Ty in the other room. I know what it was. Well, duh, you were there.
Yeah, I hear him in the background.
he's yelling in the game room. Meanwhile, Chad's in here and silent as he's playing the VR stuff, which is amazing because it's been loud as all get out. But it's as long as he doesn't fall and get hurt, no, do not
fall into your screen and you just see Chad just leaning over into the.
It would happen. Luckily, it makes you set boundaries, limits. So if you go too far, it'll disconnect the game.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay.
You won't see the screen anymore. You'll just see the house. There's Ty.
Hey, Ty.
So,
no shirt on.
Of course, no, the child gets home and everything but, the boxers come off the second he walks in the door.
Awesome.
So needless to say, filming home vlogs, I can't film Ty anymore because he's never decent.
Yeah.
But he, yeah, we got to do something this morning because that was cool. That was the first thing that we've actually been invited to,
Nice.
and so that was an awesome little experience. So looking forward to sharing that. And then I think the other video is going to be all about this VR stuff and watching how goofy they look. And I didn't know if I'd be able to capture like the content, but I can. Like it works with an app, and like you can cast what you're seeing to the app itself, and it gives a record option on there. So I'm going to be able to have footage of what they were doing earlier. And
that's awesome.
And
I've been wondering how these YouTubers have been recording the VR footage. So
really,
that's good to know in case
if that's the way it works, it's really easy. But you can also stream using the OBS. Like you can live stream it via OBS, if you make that connection. But I don't know if we'll go that route. We'll probably just do the clips that we normally do, the small, short little minute things, and then I'll put them in so folks can see. Unless Chad wants to do some longer form content.
Some what?
Some longer form content. He looks like a goober, like it's Mothman over there. Just
I still need to watch y'all Starcade new video. Y'all going back there? I hadn't had a chance to yet, so I'm gonna try to watch that tomorrow.
Here is what I will say about Starcade, and I'm thrilled because that's our favorite arcade here now.
Yeah,
and the guys there are awesome. They knock on wood, but I don't know how this week went, but they've been doing gangbusters business since the issues with the mall last week. Because when we went, Shane, the owner, was there, so I was able to talk with him for a little bit, and he was saying that they had felt the support from the community, and so
that's really cool.
Yeah, so it was awesome. I knew that we wanted to get out there at some point last weekend because of all those issues with the mall. And you're familiar with Town Center. You grew up around here.
Yeah.
I have never seen the mall that crowded in years. Years. I'm talking 20 plus years.
That mall used to be really, really crowded.
That was the place to go. I mean, if you were going to the mall, that was the place to be. And it felt that way. They were having some kind of car show, some kind of car event there that they have once a month, but I don't remember if it was WSB or what news outlet picked it up, but they lost my train of thought. They did say that it brought a bigger crowd than it normally does. So nice. I think it was the community saying, hey, we support you guys.
That's cool. Isn't that Channel 2?
Yeah, WSB's Channel 2.
I remember. Yeah. I remember.
Look, Dixie in the chat.
Oh, yeah. That's one of my former track athletes and student and one of her former students. So they're having a conversation, a combo in the chat. I would love to. I hope next time I come to Georgia, whenever that is, I would really love to go by Starcade. Like, I just love the selection of games that they have there and stuff. It's really cool. She said, sorry. No, you're fine. She probably can hear me too through the walls.
There's Chad.
Hey, Chad. He finally stepped away from the VR set.
Yeah. He gave it to Ty. So Ty's getting it all set up. We'll see if he ends up. Ty wanted, this is good. Fits into Ty perfectly. Ty wanted the Five Nights at Freddy's VR game. In the lead up to getting this thing, Chad was all about, I want Beat Saber, and Ty was, I want the Five Nights at Freddy's game. Help wanted. Excuse me. Five Nights at Freddy's. Help. And yeah, he didn't make it past the menu. So I think maybe it's the fact that it's nighttime. And yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna make up excuses for him. So
I can imagine playing those games in VR. Like the first few games terrify me enough.
Yeah. Well, you and Scary Games, period. I died laughing at your response to Chad as far as what was it, the Poppy Playtime thing that
Yeah.
he wanted you to play.
I have a one of my current track athletes. He's been begging me to play those games, and I told him I started it. So I know the first 3 are on console, so I might play them again on console instead of PC. We'll see. I don't know if the 4th one's on console. I have to check, but yeah. Okay. So he is. So that is that salutatorian? Yeah, the
Yeah,
second
that's salutatorian.
valedictorian and salutatorian.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
good job. That's
That's a,
awesome.
that's a big deal.
And I know some
Especially,
schools do a 3rd one too.
yeah, I know we don't. We just do valedictorian
Yeah,
and salutatorian.
because I can't even remember what the 3rd one is called. But I always tell my students stories because you graduated high school with honors, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember how we had our graduation at the football stadium and we had to walk in first alphabetically, those who graduated
Yes.
with honors, and then everybody else filed in behind us. And we had to stand there and watch them come in. And so I tell my students that all the time because we had so many, in our graduating
We
class.
did. We had a huge group.
And yeah, that was crazy.
I wanted to throw this up on the screen because Dixie, aren't you an English teacher?
I teach English too.
I know you do.
But yeah, she is too.
Look at what she did.
Congratulations. Oh, I'm about to get her for that one because she always corrected me.
you can't blame it. I mean, we got this thing called now I'm autocorrect. That's supposed to help.
Typo, man, typo.
How big was our graduating class? I truly don't remember. It was big because
700 and something at least.
I mean, we're talking McEachern at its biggest because Hillgrove wasn't around yet.
Yeah, Hillgrove didn't exist yet. I think because Hillgrove came like 2 or 3 years after we graduated.
Yeah,
somewhere along
so
those lines.
we were busting at the seams. Oh, Greg. Busting out the big questions here. Who am I rooting for? Who are we rooting for tomorrow? Azkhalon, you want to take this one first?
I have no dogs in the fight, or I have no birds in the fight because the Falcons didn't make it. But I gotta go with the Eagles. I want the Eagles to win. And it has nothing to do with everybody complaining about the refs being on the Chiefs side. I want the Eagles to win. I like what Saquon Barkley was doing this season, and I want him to really show the Giants what they gave up. So I'm hoping they win it.
I'm cheering for Buffalo Chicken Dip. That's what I'm cheering for. I'm cheering for an asteroid to hit Earth. I'm cheering for baseball season to start. That's what I'm cheering for. Because it's hard. Like I like some of the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I do. I like some of the Chiefs. I liked Patrick Mahomes in college. I liked Patrick Mahomes when he was the underdog. I hate the Eagles. I mean, we're Atlanta. We hate all things Philly. It's so
that is true. It's like ingrained in us.
Who's the halftime show? Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar is the halftime show. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't even know if I don't know.
Oh yeah, the Eagles. Yeah. Speaking of what Dixie just said, the Eagles have several athletes that went to high school near where we live. I think their fullback went to Buckhorn High School, which is kind of like the rival of my school where I teach at. So that's pretty cool. And they got a lot of Georgia Bulldogs on their team. A lot of
Greg's rooting for decent commercials. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that is. I hate this new thing, though. I'll admit, and I'm sure some people love it, but I hate this new thing of we're bringing back people from the past. Like this year we're bringing Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan together from When Harry Met Sally, and they posted that on social media, and everybody's like, "That's a Super Bowl ad," and sure enough. That's a Super Bowl ad. And it's like, come on, if you're going to do that, fine, because everybody loves the nostalgia and stuff like that, but leave it a surprise.
But yeah, don't ruin it. That's the whole point of watching the Super Bowl.
You've kind of taken the comedy out of it because people kind of know what to expect.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll watch it for the commercials. We'll watch it for the halftime show. And then we'll hope for a good game. That's what I'll say. I will be rooting for crazy things to happen. Like give me a defensive lineman interception or a D lineman pick six. Give me something that doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! What the heck?
He's here.
I don't know what happened. I could not get my browser to bring my camera up at all. I don't know what happened, but I'm here.
Yes,
he's here. The nerd herd fully together.
I got to figure out what's going on so I don't do that in the future. But that's garbage. I am sorry. I'm late. I feel so bad. Golly, guys.
I mean,
you're fine. You made it, though, so that's all that matters.
How long have we been going?
Let's see. What time? 20 minutes? 21 minutes?
I've missed 20 minutes of conversations.
Yeah. So we can catch you up. There's just a little bit to catch you up on. We talked about what we've been going on this week. I showed, and it's in the chat, the link, but there's new Coker Culture merch on the website.
Nice.
So we've got hoodies now, and we also have different color options than what were there before. And then the only thing still to come is magnets and stickers are going to be coming soon. But we've got.
Are you running those to a website? I didn't ask you. Are you running those to a website, and then you ship them out, or do y'all ship them out yourselves?
It is running through somebody local. I'm not going to say her name on here, but her.
I got you.
And she has created a page on her business's webpage of just our merchandise. And so
nice.
So the Cokers don't make any money off of it. So she can sell it, at the cheapest price point to where, she's just getting paid for her labor and the materials themselves. So, we're not, Cokers aren't doing it as a cash grab. We're just doing it so that folks that want to support us and, show our merchandise can do so.
Well, and I'm all for that, but at some point, you need a little bit. You could use the money towards you too. You got to put it in towards things too. So,
now that you're on here, though, there is one thing that I wanted to bring up that I did not know until this week, and it kind of made me it made me very irritated. So the last time that all of us were on here, or it may have even been the first time when we were talking about my setup. Well, I'm trying to hold my thumb up and the green screen doesn't like that. Okay. So my setup, and B, memberships through YouTube.
Patreon.
Yeah. What Chad's here, subscriptions. Yeah. But YouTube memberships. And what I found out and did not know until this week is apparently you can only be a member of one YouTube channel.
Oh, really?
You cannot have multiple memberships to multiple channels. If you are a member of one channel, you cannot become a member of another, which makes zero sense to me.
Yeah.
Like I
did not know that.
If we want to support each other, if we, if we as small YouTubers, if we want to come together and, be members of everybody's stuff, we can't. And I found this out because in early January, Azkhalon went live with his memberships around that time.
Yeah.
And then another one of our close YouTube friends, Ren, she went live with her memberships. And so I don't remember which membership I purchased first, but when February rolled around and the memberships were supposed to, renew, I had one get taken out of my bank account, but just one. So I was like, well, what's going on here? So I went and looked it up like on my desktop, because for whatever reason, memberships in the app you can't really see stuff very well.
Yeah,
So
it's harder to see stuff like
yeah,
that.
so I pulled that up. Everything's fine on your website. I'm able to see all my member perks and stuff like that. So I go to Ren's, nothing. And it just had like the join symbol there. And so I clicked that again. And when I clicked join, it would reroute me back to your YouTube page. And I'm like, what is going on? So I had to do some research and some digging in Google. And I finally found that where it said, yeah, if you're a member of one YouTube channel, that's it. You can only be a member of one.
Weird.
Oh,
Do
wow.
not get it.
Yeah, that does not make sense at all.
So
Yeah,
I'm
because
hoping-
I'm a member of one of my buddies, and so then I wouldn't be able to join anybody else's.
So my
I guess
hope,
unless I guess a way around it if you got multiple YouTube logins, maybe.
yeah, that would be one way. Like my thought on it, and here's like kind of my approach. My hope is they'll change it.
Yeah.
I'd really like them to change it. And maybe it's why a lot of creators use those off YouTube sites for subscriptions, like the, buy me a coffee websites and stuff where, you can donate $2, $3, $5 a month and they get, I don't know if they get all the proceeds from that or if it's just a portion, but maybe that's one way of doing it. But I hope they'll change it. But my thought process is what I'm going to do to support my friends that I can't buy memberships to. I think I'll probably use super chats and things like that, since you can choose how much you're paying there. And if they go live, okay, here's a $2 or $3 super chat. So, cause that's how I can support you.
Yeah. I had no idea. So that's good information to know. It sucks that it's that way, but yeah, that's good info. I'm glad you discovered that. Cause I had no idea.
That is crazy.
Jason, are you wearing one of your new hats there?
I am. This is College Town, Knoxville right now. So
okay.
So y'all can see.
Nice.
That's cool.
Chad will want one.
What?
Is he still sitting right there after playing VR?
There he is. Ties on the VR. See, it says College Town, Knoxville.
I want it in a minute.
Well, Jason, you want to talk a little bit about the hats? Because you've had quite a week, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I have always been a hat person, even when I had hair. so like I always, even as a young guy, back when I used to, this is now Azkhalon, I used to wear, my hair used to be up and like swoop over. And, in the 90s, and in the 80s, when you go to the skating ring, you put that hat up like that.
Yeah.
You have your hair.
Let the hair come out. Yeah.
So I always wear my hair. So I was always big into hats. So everybody, I'm always known for wearing some type of hat. But so when I was decided, hey, I wanted to get some lasers and stuff. The whole point. So everything I've been doing has been trying to like make content for 2025. What's some things that I enjoy doing, whether it's 3D printing or anything like that. And I thought, I really want to get into some laser engraving and laser things. And I thought if I reach out to a couple of companies, tell them I like to partner with them, and I produce some content, that maybe they would start sending me product and maybe sponsor some of my videos. And so that was my thing. And I just wasn't getting any traction by reaching out to people. So X Tools and some of you guys that are going to be watching me, hey, send you boys some things here. I've been making content, but when I started getting into that, I thought, well, what are some things I can make? And here's the thing, I can make pretty much anything, but I thought, well, what's something I really enjoy? Cause we've talked about what's your why, what's things you enjoy. Yeah. I enjoy hats. So when I was coaching, it was all about the outfit, like, whatever we got as far as coaching hats, coaching shoes and all that. And that's all the things I love. But I thought, I started looking around like things I could make. And I realized I could engrave on leather. And then I realized they actually had leather that you could engrave and put it on a hat and you could press it. And then I was like, holy crap. So then I went ahead and decided I'm just going to bite the bullet, buy a laser engraver. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up buying 2 and a hat press. And I said, I'm just going to try some things for myself and see how it works. And daggone it, man. I started doing these things.
That's really cool.
All I did was post like a couple of pictures of some things I designed. Cause I love to do Illustrator and Photoshop and all that. And then all of a sudden people are like, hey, can I get that hat? Can I get that hat? Can I get that hat? What else can you do? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. So listen, I went live last night, Zach, and just being fully transparent. I've not LLC'd this thing yet, but I think I'm going to have to do something. I got to, because I honestly didn't think it was going to do this, but I did like almost $400 on live last night.
Holy moly.
And
Good job, man. That's
So-
fantastic. And that wasn't a YouTube live either. That was just Facebook, right?
Facebook
Yeah.
Live. So,
Woo.
and it was just like, hey, you know how those people get on there and do the jewelry?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I'm not
like
a salesman.
QVC.
I'm not a salesman. I can sell myself, but I'm not a salesman. But I got on there. I was like, hey, I have this patch. I have this patch. And I've got this hat color. And everybody's like, can I get that in the gray? Can I get that in the black? And I was like, bro. So anyway, I am only in this for about what, Zach, a week and a half.
Yeah. I mean, that's about as long as the Instagram page has been up. So yeah.
I think I've sold like 51 hats so far.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's unbelievable.
Awesome. Yeah. Tonight at dinner, I reached out to Josh B. Kelly. He's a country music singer that I met through Josh Dobbs, and he's a country music singer.
We're just gonna let that flow. Like you haven't heard of Josh Kelly, but me and my buddy Josh Dobbs, former Tennessee quarterback Josh Dobbs, former Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Josh Dobbs.
Yeah, Tennessee quarterback.
He called me last week. Josh Dobbs called me last week and had a one-on-one conversation with me for 30 minutes about my hat company.
Wow.
And just kind of broke down like what to do, what not to do, where to buy my stuff, where to not buy it from. And he gave me like so much good information, and I would love to share it with you guys. Just things that we don't think about that, you know, we could talk about it down the road as this thing grows. But like, it was like a Fortune 500 conversation with somebody about, cause he's probably sold over 100,000 hats, but his business model is if he plays well, he sells well, where mine is not really built on that. I can make a cool design. Like I thought this up. I designed it. I printed it. A couple of people have said, where'd you get that? And I said, I made it. And so he was like, you know, and I know, Zach, you know, you've got such a big heart and you're very giving, as you're probably the same way, but like, he was like, you know, as much as you want to like give to people and do that, he goes, you're starting out as a company. That's what you can't do starting out. You can't just because people want like a donate a hat to this. He goes, don't do that. He goes, when you're doing well, you can do that. But when you first start out, he goes, everybody realizes you have a business and they just think you're already making money and they'll try to ask for this, ask for that. Can you get to this event?
It's hard for sure.
And you know, you don't want to turn anybody down, but it's been crazy. So I'm actually $100 in the positive on material. So like, listen, when we come up with the Nerd Herd, whatever our podcast name is,
point to Azkhalon's sign there. The Nerd Herd.
I think we need a Nerd Herd hat.
We need Nerd Herd hats, and I think we could probably do a Nerd Herd magnet with like.
Oh my goodness! I just realized I forgot the word live. Oh my God. What? The Nerd Herd is again. I like that. We'll let that stick.
We are again. I want to put that on the hat. Like, we are again.
We are.
I totally forgot the word live.
So yeah, he was like, you know, he just broke it down for me. And then everybody's been buying in. Like I've had 2 or 3 people made me some spreadsheets, some Excel spreadsheets on how to track what I spend versus what I charge and how much the profit is per this, per that. Yeah. So it's amazing. It's amazing that, you know, when you're good to people and they see you're doing things, they want to reach out and get something. Like I know, Zach, you said you wanted to get something, and you know, and so I appreciate it. So I don't know, it's been crazy, dude.
And let's throw this out there. I did not ask for. I plan to pay for said hat. Yeah. I didn't say, hey, can you hook me up with one of those?
You did not. You did not. And you know, to a lot of my friends' credit, nobody's asked for that. So one of my former football players bought like 10 hats from me the other day, and he put them at his shop, and he said he's selling them for $35, and he's already sold almost all of them.
Wow.
So And then
So
he called me back tonight and said, "Can you do visors for my daughter's golf team?" I said, "Yes."
So do you only you do snapbacks, right? Do you do
I do
fitted?
anything. I can do anything, but you'd have to know exactly, like, how it is. If you do a fitted, if you do a fitted, like I'm a 7.5, but I've also tried on a 7 3/8 before, and that's fit.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm more of a fitted hat type of guy than a snapback, but because I would love to get some from you soon too, because
If you
those are
tell
really
me what it
cool.
is, I'll order it special. Like if you tell me, like, "Hey, this hat brand, I know I'm all day, every day. You look like you're probably a 7 1/4 kind of guy.
I'm like 7 3/8.
Well, you're my size head. So
Yeah.
this,
So
I'm a fat head, so I don't do fitted hats.
so
I need the
on a
snapback.
snap hat, I'm a 3.
yeah, that's about roughly where I would be. Yeah.
I'm about a 3. So, but I've got all kinds of hats right now. I've got 100 hats sitting in there right now that I've just been knocking out. And every like we delivered one on the way to dinner to one of my friends who wanted one that said Jesus
That's
on it.
cool.
Let me show you. I'll show you this.
All right, there's
Well, while
some
he
in the
is off,
chat.
I'm going to say this because I've left Greg's thing down there because I want to talk about that because that's
Yeah.
going to start fights. But but this week, I got to host the Mr. Raider pageant at our school.
Yeah.
Which is it's the 8th time we've done it. It's the 8th time I've hosted. And it's always done to raise money for some type of cause in our community, or a bigger cause too. That's a nationwide cause. Just depends on what's going on. Well, the funny story to me, at least this time around with it, is they always have us go and rent tuxes. And the school pays for it, which is great.
Okay, that's cool.
The school, either the school or the organization that runs it, that runs the pageant at the school, the club, will pay for our tux rentals. So this year, we had to use K&G. We've used Men's Warehouse before. We used Savvy Formal Wear for a very, very, very long time. This was our first time using K&G. It was a little bit of a headache, not gonna lie, going through K&G. But maybe that was just me. That felt like a headache to me, maybe not to all the boys that had to do it. But I also, in talking to the club sponsors and stuff, it was about $500 more expensive than using Men's Warehouse, who we used last year. And I was like, well, that really stinks because we're getting a tux, we're getting a shirt, we're getting a tie, but shoes aren't included this year. So like, not a big deal. I've got black dress shoes, but I'm sure some of the boys didn't. Well, I sent a text yesterday to the club director, to find out, how soon do I need to try to get this tux back to K&G? Like how, we had to delay this pageant once. So I've had this tux for a couple extra weeks than they were anticipating. Do I need to try to rush it back this weekend? And she goes, "Oh, I told the boys, but I didn't tell you." And I'm like, "Tell me what?" She goes, "You get to keep the tux."
Oh,
Like, what? She goes, "Yeah, K&G doesn't rent them.
that's
We
why they
actually
were.
bought
so-
them." And I'm like,
That's why they were. So
all right.
Yeah.
That's worth the headache and the extra $500, and you keep the tux.
keep
Are
it,
you
yeah.
kidding me? And that was 13 tuxes, and it was a $500 difference from renting that many last year for
That's
the boys.
crazy.
So all the boys and me get to keep the tuxes that we got from K&G.
That's
so
awesome.
now I've got to keep this body type so I can fit in this tux.
So you can fit the tux.
That's crazy. That's awesome, though.
Here I am trying to lose weight too. So then again, this pageant's always right after Christmas, so I'll probably bulk up again and be able to fit. So
Thanksgiving and the Christmas food and stuff like that, or you just have a baggy tux. It's okay.
That's
Jason,
awesome.
Jason, were you able to find what you went off looking for?
Yeah, so I had a friend of mine. We dropped off a hat for her. She wanted a pink hat.
Jesus,
That's cool.
Hey, Jesus.
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 Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So I did that. She goes, "Can you do a hat that just says Jesus on it?" And I was like, yes, 1000% I can. And she goes, "How long?" I said, "Tonight." She goes, okay. So I dropped it off on the way. And this is the other thing I'm finding out is that a lot of local people are buying hats from me. So it's been good. But I feel like such a goofball because I'm like, hey, I'll meet you at the Ingles. Hey, I'll meet you at the Kroger's. I will be at the Walmarts tonight from 5 to 7 if you want my hat.
I
Come
haven't
pick up
seen
my
an Ingles in forever.
Hey, so
We have
what's
an Ingles
crazy
right down
is,
the road.
Zach, this is how I get them to show up, though. They pay for the hat ahead of time.
Yeah,
When people have already bought something, they'll show up.
They're gonna
You know
show
what I mean?
up. Yeah.
exactly.
So I always say, hey, go ahead and pay for it. I'm coming. You know I'm going to come here because the last thing I want is for anybody to say, hey, you didn't show up.
Yeah.
So everybody has been showing up. So it's been really cool. Hey, did you already talk about the fact that Luke was going to be
No,
coming?
we were
to
waiting on you.
We were saving this for you because when you walked away, I told Azkhalon, I said, I've left this up here because this is going to start fights. Not amongst the three of us, but like,
See, I didn't know it was just California. I had seen some
That
info
makes
about
me upset.
Yeah.
it is going to be the Disney World and Disney adults are going to hate this on this side
It's
of
like
the
Return of the Jedi Luke too, right?
So are we pitting California versus Florida?
I
Which
feel
is
like
bigger?
I feel
Feels
like
bigger.
with Disney, we always have like Disneyland, Disney
Yeah.
World. You've got your East Coast and your West Coasters, and everybody that's a Disney World person is going to say, if anybody should have Luke, we should have Luke. But I'm sure he's coming to Florida.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't come to Florida, then I think they'll probably get an exclusive character that Disneyland won't have.
Yeah,
Because,
I mean that would be detrimental to them if they don't.
well, I
if
mean,
they
because
don't
think of
see
it this way: think about the villains that they had at like Oogie Boogie's thing out west at Disneyland that they haven't brought here. And that ruffled some feathers. And those weren't even really super popular villain characters.
Yeah, who would we have to get that would take the place of Luke?
This is Luke freaking Skywalker.
Who could make us feel better?
Yeah.
Then
Harrison Ford? I mean, who?
We already have Chewie, so you can't do that, but they have Chewie.
Ray.
It would have
Ray.
and they have Ray. It would have to be somebody it's super popular. Like it'd have to be Boba Fett.
Okay.
I was thinking Mando or
we both already have Mando and Grogu. So I think it would have to be
Boba Fett would be good.
Because I'd say Han, but I feel like that's a cop out because people love Harrison Ford, but he's not on the same level Luke Skywalker is as far as fandom, and Boba Fett is. And somebody may be rewatching this and be like, Boba Fett is not, but I definitely feel like there's a huge Boba Fett following.
I think I always loved Boba Fett. Boba Fett was my favorite because he could fly around. I thought that was the coolest thing ever when I was a kid.
I mean, yeah, he was in the movie for like 10 minutes and like, everybody
remembered the Sarlacc. Are you?
Yes, he did.
Yep. He survived the Sarlacc.
This is the way, baby. This is the way. That's crazy.
So now that we're all three on here, and it's been about 3 weeks since we did this last?
Too long.
Yeah, it's been way too long. Azkhalon posted our teams that we drafted to social media.
Yeah,
to
saw
get that opinions. Azkhalon, why don't you tell the people the results of what got posted?
Zach's team won because of Kirby.
Because of Kirby,
was definitely that wild card right there. Yeah, when you took Kirby in the draft, I was like, yep, that's it. Can't top that.
Ooh. I'm a sore loser.
Kirby in the 5th and final round, and everybody's like, can't beat Kirby. He's eating gods.
That was definitely the steal of the draft right there. That was that Tom Brady pick right there. Low in the draft. And
that one came out of left field. I wasn't expecting that one.
I'm not gonna lie. There are very, very, very few things on YouTube when I read comments that actually make me laugh, that legitimately get me cracking up. But Azkhalon, when I got on there, and saw the crazy little broomstick and sided with me, I died. I was like, I got it.
Yep.
This is
Oh.
a subscriber, Jason, that he comments on every single one of Azkhalon's videos. He's an awesome kid.
Yeah.
Loves everything that Azkhalon does, and I'm like, he sided with me.
But didn't choose me that day. No.
He broke you. He broke you, huh?
Yep.
So I was going to say something, Zach. I was watching a video the other day when you guys went out to dinner, and I guess your wife is like mine in so many ways. Is that like when they see the camera, they know it's going to happen,
Mhm.
but it's like I don't know that they hate every second of it because they know you're doing it, but like I could just feel your wife looking like,
Yeah.
okay, can I eat now? You have to show my food before I can take a bite of it.
She's good about that, about the whole
She
phone
is.
eat
She really
first kind
is.
of deal.
She'll demonstrate. She'll show you the cheese. Like my wife, sometimes she'll be like, "Can I eat now?" I'm like, "Let me get a video of it, please."
She'll be the one to actually tell the boys to hold off so we can get
Oh,
it.
That's
oh
good.
no,
But yeah,
yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like I'll put the camera on her and I can see maybe the tiny squirm.
Oh,
in her
Ty doesn't
brain.
wait. Ty's over there eating.
Oh yeah,
pickle
Ty's
chips like a
already
mouth-
eating
Ty's already got a
something.
mouthful. Yeah,
We're lucky to get half a plate of what Ty had on there. I have to have the camera rolling by the time his food comes
I
out.
can't believe you're not
He's
still
not
eating those pickle chips. That bowl
Oh
was
yeah.
like,
Oh man, that and the sushi y'all had at the one restaurant, like that was a lot of food. I was like,
Az, you got to
We-
be careful in that place. It's $25 to $28 a person.
yeah.
I mean, you better have your fat man shorts on for
Oh,
that
yeah,
thing.
I know if I went to that sushi place, we'll be ordering all kinds to try.
Buddy, we were stuffed when
Yeah.
Tell
we
them they've got a waste. They've got a waste charge. If you overbuy and you don't eat it, there's like a charge at the end.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, this is what I will say and that I love. And I don't know if it was maybe just our waitress that night or if it's the full restaurant's policy, but she started off by saying, be adventurous, try whatever you want to, because if you don't like it, we will take it back and it does not count like against
And
your
they
waist.
did that for you too. With
Yes, because
the
Jess
one.
and I both tried a type of sushi, different types, and
Yeah.
I got 2 to 3 pieces into it, and I just wasn't feeling it. And
Yeah.
the same thing happened for her, and they gladly just took it away. And I was like, all
That's
right.
awesome.
We did talk about this when Joshua laughed at me when they asked me if I wanted any ice cream. Did we talk about that?
I don't think so.
We ate at the sushi thing and they said when Sarah got some Oreos, I said, I don't want any Oreos, but I tried one bite and they were good. But they said, do you want some ice cream? I said, sure. She goes, now they're very small ice creams. And I was like, okay. I said, well, I don't know what flavor. And she goes, well, I can get you 2 of each and you can just whatever, because they're very small. Zach, when they brought out those ice creams, they're like those tubs. Six of them. 2 vanilla, 2 chocolate, and 2 strawberry. Joshua,
Little
my
ones you get
son,
like at school.
yes, but
Yeah.
they were bigger than that. And
Oh,
Joshua
wow.
died. He died laughing. He goes, Dad, there's no way you're gonna eat that. Like I was like, I'm so sorry. I in no way thought it was gonna be this big. So I made her take back 4, in which they didn't care because I didn't eat them, but I got the chocolate and we all just kind of ate it. But oh my gosh, my son thought that was hilarious.
Here's a little behind the magic for you on ours. So I'm not a big dessert guy, never have
Yeah,
been.
me neither.
I'm more of a savory guy. So Jess is all about the desserts. So it comes to dessert time, and she's like, I want the fried Oreos and I want to try the fried bananas. And the waiter comes out, not our waiter, like our waitress, I should say, but the guy just delivering food. And he comes out and he's got the fried Oreos. And I said, oh, that's over there. And then he's got the fried bananas. I said, that is also over there. And she sit there, and I ate 1 of the fried Oreos, and she gave me the death stare. And our
She had to have 3, she said.
and the waitress comes back and was like, and Jess was like, I want another order of the Oreos. And so the whole time after she's gone, she goes, please be a different waiter that brings it out. Please be a different waiter. And sure enough, it was, because she would have been mortified.
Those things are so good, man. Oh my gosh. It's always like that funny joke where somebody, oh, I'm fine. I don't want anything. And then she gets hers and you're like grabbing one of her three and she's like, what are you doing?
Well, she had me try the fried banana, and I'm like, well, I'm going to try the fried Oreo too. I mean, if you're going to have me try stuff, I'm going to try stuff.
And the funniest video Sarah and I were watching the other day, Zach, was when you ate something spicy and you're like, well, just to be very transparent, I didn't eat much more of that because it was much more spicy than I thought it was going to be.
I think that may have been the wings at Buffalo Wings. I think that's what it was.
Would you say you got tongue torch or what was it? No,
I got their hottest thing. I don't.
Yeah, you got the hottest. Yeah.
And he goes, I and your face was like, I bit off more than I could chew.
I bit off more than I could chew. I do that all the time with spicy stuff too, because it's like I love spice. So I'm going to go big or go home. And a lot of times I'm going to regret it.
And you're taking stuff home is what it is. That's funny. Oh,
but I do got to try the hot lemon pepper one day, because I love lemon pepper. I love hot wings. I just been seeing you order those in the last couple of videos and stuff.
Tell you how thrilled I was to find out that I could do that at Otter's.
Yeah.
I was.
I saw Otter's serving breakfast now.
Otter's serving breakfast starting this coming Wednesday.
Yeah, I saw Will posted something on Facebook about it.
Yep, Wednesday, February the 12th. They're going to start serving breakfast Wednesdays through Sundays. So not every day of the week, but they're rolling it out.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm obsessed with wings. Like, I keep our local wing stop in business.
so hey, here's a cheat code. Do you have a air fryer?
I do not. No, I do not have an air fryer.
You don't have an air fryer? Okay.
No.
Okay.
Well, first get an air fryer.
Get an air fryer.
Okay.
Because they're not expensive.
Go to Costco.
Okay.
Get their pre-seasoned wings. It's a huge thing of wings, right?
Okay.
Massive. They're pre-seasoned, like garlic, all these different kinds, but you bring those in, put them, you have a toaster oven. But get it.
I have a bag of dirt.
I have a bag of dirt. Put that on there. But listen, you put wings in there. You do two 8-minute sessions, right? Of those wings. You put the legs, or the legs around the side, or the wings. You put the flats on the inside, and you start on the outside and make your way around. Put the drums facing down and put the flats inside. 8 minutes, and then flip it, and then 8 minutes. It's the best stinking wings you've ever had in your life.
Okay.
I mean, it tastes like straight from the restaurant. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. We're going to go to Costco. We got people coming over for the Super Bowl.
Okay. Wings.
Those wings are ridiculous at Costco.
So good. Air fryer, toaster oven. Oh, but it's not convection. Okay.
But the air fryer, I mean, it just does. And you can also do, I think you can do Oreos in there too.
That was just fried Oreos.
Yeah, I think you can do Oreos in there, Zach. I think you can do some type. I saw somebody was doing something with Oreos in an air fryer.
But it was not us. Was not us. I like it.
That's cool.
So I've done all kinds of. It's amazing. Now for the Georgia fans, we did
College Town Athens.
Yeah, cool. We did that, and then like this is for Christmas next year.
Getting blitzened.
Yeah, so getting blitzened, and then I did this for my buddy, the Bremen ones. Those have gone crazy, but no, it's I don't know, man. I think I keep trying things. My friends, I'm sure I'm annoying. And that brings me to something that I was telling Zach about earlier when we were talking about stuff we could talk about, but it's probably too deep of a conversation after we've already been here for 54 minutes.
Well, some of us have.
I'm gonna just sit my butt there.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. He's been waiting patiently. He has a question.
Who y'all got winning the Super Bowl?
He obviously was on the VR thing.
Yeah, he missed our answer earlier, but Jason didn't get to answer it. So
I don't think the Chiefs can be beaten. I really don't.
Yeah, and it's a sad thing.
Chad, who are you rooting for?
Eagles.
Yeah, I
Eagles?
kind of want the Eagles to win too.
I
Good
want
job,
them
Chad.
to win, but I probably know they're not going to.
Yeah.
And just to bring it back for the people that weren't here earlier, I am rooting for baseball season to start. So
And the commercials.
Carnival Cruise
And the
says
commercials.
commercials for the win.
Yes, commercials. Yep, we've had a few more folks show up while we were going off here. So just want to say thanks to Scott from Controversial Cruising, and then want to thank Liz. And if Chris is watching with you, Liz, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys coming. And then there's Dixie again. Got to root on her Alabama boys.
Yeah, her Alabama boys.
And then all the Georgia boys on that defense.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think I'm hoping that Tennessee can pull off another national championship this year.
In basketball?
No, I'm talking about baseball. She was talking about baseball season.
Baseball.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, Zach and Jason, I don't know what video games like you play, like sports wise, but did you see all the MLB The Show stuff where they're gonna have college teams and some college teams, and you get to start in high school for Road to the Show? So that will be played on my channel.
Yeah.
Oh wow! No, I've not seen that.
I'm a big,
really cool.
Big MLB The Show guy. That's one of the few games that will suck me back in every year to where I'll take over the PlayStation from Chad for a little bit. I fell in love this past season with a guy from Cleveland that I had never heard of before, thanks to MLB The Show. Like Daniel Schneemann was the guy's name, and I'm like, all right, that is a name, man. I love it. But yeah, I'm ready for some Braves baseball, and I'm ready for basketball to be over. I'm definitely ready for football to be over. And
it's been a long season for sure.
Oh yeah,
looking forward to baseball and WrestleMania season because we
WrestleMania.
Oh yeah,
are you a wrestling
wrestling guy?
Yes, Jason. How did you not know that? Like
what?
Me and the boys go to all the shows.
Oh my God. I know, but I just wasn't thinking. I honestly, I forgot about that. That didn't dawn on me.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
And of course, I mean, this isn't news to Azkhalon. I'm sure Azkhalon knows this, but since that's news to you, about golly, what was it? 5 years ago? Maybe it was pre-COVID. So 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I actually trained for a year to wrestle.
Oh, you did?
I did. I trained for a year. No, and my trainer, my coach, was half of the WWE Hall of Fame Rock and Roll Express.
No way.
Yep.
What was going to be your wrestling name?
We never got that far.
You thought about it. What was it? You had to. Come on.
But we got into a stage right before COVID where I had finally gotten good enough that I had been worked into the plans where I was going to start as a dirty ref for one of our bigger card guys. And, I was going to be the heel ref. So I'm thinking like Neil Patrick, NWO, I'm the ref in the pocket, and then it would go from there.
Yeah.
But
he's right on it, isn't he? He's right on it.
COVID happened, and I got old, and I ended up having a slit disc in my back. And
what would Zach's wrestling name be?
I know. I was trying to think about that earlier because I was like, Zach Attack is too.
Yeah.
The closest we ever got was I actually filmed a promo before they came up with the dirty ref thing. I filmed a promo because one of my buddies that got me into training is a guy that we went to school with, Azkhalon, and he was in band with us, David Gass. Don't know if you remember David or not, but
I'm trying to think.
He was working a strongman gimmick. and he had the 1920s old school strongman look about him. He had
Okay, with
the
the
mustache, the whole deal. And so I filmed a whole promo as basically like a ringmaster type, to where we were going to be a tag team of him
Zach
being
the
the
Gas
strongman
Man.
and me
that's
being
cool.
That's really cool.
Zach
You put
the
Zach
Gas
the
Man.
Gas
Zach the
Man.
Gas Man.
Oh, listen,
That's my normal nickname. I mean, that's not. Get Jess here; she'll vouch for that.
She'll tell it. Well, something I think would have been cool. You could have been, he said you about calling you Z-Man and all that stuff. The thing that wrestling they missed an opportunity when zombies were like a really big thing. They could have had the Zombie Horde wrestling crew, right? Where they had people come out with like, the Undertaker and have some zombies like
all in
minions.
tow and stuff. Yeah.
They could have been like, they could have, don't let them bite you. Don't let them bite you. No. And then they'd come out with masks on, and somehow during the match, they get their mask pulled away, and then they bite somebody, and he lays on the stage, and then he rolls off the stage, and all of a sudden he comes up and he's like, you know what I mean? It would have been the best ever.
Would have been really cool.
Even that might have been a little too much.
I don't know. Z-Man, you could have been Zombie Z-Man.
Zombie Z-Man. Did y'all see the one question? There was one about
Gaming?
Nintendo or Atari.
That was Greg.
Yeah,
let me pull that back up here.
Nintendo, Atari,
or Sega or Atari.
Sega.
See, this is tough. Because I actually just watched Greg's Sega video, or excuse me, let me rephrase that. I was watching Greg's Sega video until the virtual reality stuff took over the television. So I'll have to go back and finish it. I
gotta check out Greg's stuff. I gotta go check out Greg's stuff.
You will absolutely love Greg's channel. You will without
Greg,
a doubt.
I'm gonna sub to you in just a minute.
But I've got to say I'm Nintendo. And that's not that I hate Sega or Atari by any means. I was just a Nintendo kid. So that was my first console was an NES, and then I got a Game Boy, and then I got a Super Nintendo, and then I think I got the 64 before I ever got a PlayStation. So I grew up on Nintendo. I did have a Sega Genesis in conjunction with that. And so I loved Sonic and I loved the Sega games, but I think I'm more of a Nintendo guy.
Yeah, I would say obviously, Nintendo is still around, as far as consoles and everything. I know Sega still makes games and stuff, but I kind of went back and forth as a kid. I actually started off with an Atari 2600. That was the first gaming console I ever played on. But then I got my NES, and that's the one I really remember. But then for some reason, my parents got me a Sega Genesis. So I missed out on the Super Nintendo. So I'm going back to that now. But I was a Sega kid when I was a kid, and I played. That's when I got into sports games, like playing the World Series baseball. So I would say growing up, I was a Sega kid. I had a Dreamcast later. I did have a 64, but I had a Sega Dreamcast, and then after that, I didn't have a Nintendo until I got my Switch, and so I went back and played. Now I have a GameCube.
Oh wow!
And I did play Wii, because Wii was popular no matter if you owned one or not, with the different games for that. But yeah, I didn't own a Nintendo console until I got my Switch, and so but now of course I really love Nintendo stuff. So as an adult, and going back and experiencing the GameCube and the Super Nintendo, which I am mad that I missed out on those two consoles when I was a kid. Like I'm definitely a Nintendo fanboy now.
Oh,
Ken Griffey Jr. Major League Baseball.
Yeah, I have one of them.
If you don't have that for the SNES, that was my game. Ken Griffey Jr. I spent many hours playing that.
Yeah.
Let me give you a little scene. Let me take you back to when I was a kid. My mom would take us to Sky City. Y'all probably know about Sky City.
Nope.
Sky City was probably a worse version of Kmart.
Okay.
Called Sky City. The floors were dirty. People smoked in there. They put their butts out on the floor. Half of us walked around barefoot or flip-flops. My mama would go into Sky City and she'd say, y'all go play. So we're walking to the back, and all we did was go back there and daydream and look at G.I. Joes, right? Until one day in the electronics area, sometimes they would show movies and things. So we'd watch like movies. They had tapes back there. They'd have the new laser disc, or they used to have VHS, but then there was another what was called, there was VHS, and there was one before VHS. It was like something else. It was a name something else, but it was, the VHSs were smaller. But anyway, I say that to tell you that one day we saw this glowing tower right outside electronics, and it had 4 sides. And when you walked up to it, it had an Atari 2600 inside this box, and it had a controller there that you could sit there and play. And my brothers and I would just converge on this thing, and we would hold it hostage. No one could play it while we were there. My mama, I don't know what she was doing for an hour, but we would play like Atari 2600 Tanks or War, or whatever it was, with the Baron, the flying planes and stuff. But I don't know how long we were there, but we were just, I didn't care to go to Sky City. If she said she wanted to go shopping, we were there. And I mean, for years, we would just go in there and play the Atari. So, but again, those games were horrible. But at the time, those were like mind-blowingly good.
Oh,
I mean,
so, Jason, both Dixie and Liz threw Betamax out there. Is that
Okay,
what you
there it
got
is.
with
The
VHS,
Betamax.
Yeah. And then Greg, of course, I don't want to say that we missed it because Greg said he's up pro all 3. So that's good. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah, I mean.
And then Scotty coming in here with the links system.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I never had that.
Great system.
Oh, I never had that either.
Yeah, I think I had all the Nintendos, the Nintendo, the 2600, the Sega Genesis, all of the PlayStations I had. Gosh, Lee, I ran my student loans up with video game stuff. They were like, how much do you want? We can give you this amount of money, or we can give you this amount of money. I was thinking, what new video game console could I buy? I was an idiot. And that's why, Zach, up until about 2 years ago, I was still paying on student loans.
Well, what I will say, Azkhalon said earlier that he's now a Nintendo adult.
Yeah.
If I'm having to choose out of today's systems, it's not even close. No, I mean, there's no competition. I am a Sony guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
PlayStation all day over anything. I have never been an Xbox guy.
I'm an Xbox guy. I play PlayStation, but I like the offset thumbsticks with the Xbox controller. And I got an Xbox first, so I never had a PS1 until I was an adult because I had the 64. But I got an Xbox my parents bought me, and then so I've always kind of had Xbox first before I got the PlayStation, because eventually I did get a PS2, but I just love the offset thumbsticks with the Xbox.
Zach, you probably didn't catch that, but Carnival said that talking about the laser disc players.
The laser disc players,
it was bigger than a record player disc, right?
Which is hard to believe because record players back then, they were huge.
They were pretty,
And so you'd watch. So I remember my granny would get these movies. She was big into movies, but I remember I was out sick one day, and my mom sent me to my granny's house, and my uncles, who were very wealthy, had bought my granny this laser disc, and my granny didn't even know how to operate it. But she had rented Little Orphan Annie of all movies and had it there for me. And I think I watched that movie 7 or 8 times that day or two that I was stuck at Granny's house sick with the flu. But what happened was you'd watch the movie halfway and then it would stop, and you'd have to eject it, flip it over, and put it in.
Wow.
So crazy.
Yeah, I heard a laser disc, but I never.
Jason, can we get that put on a hat? Because we need that on a hat. Just we old.
We old.
We old.
That just needs to be the whole nerd herd slogan there, is just we old.
The nerd herd is old.
But we embody everything great. The years that we were born. We're still old. We're still young enough to remember all that stuff, but all the new stuff now we're still into.
Well, and I love the fact that retro is cool now.
Oh, it is.
So to bring all this stuff back, like Ty wanting the NES for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're going to these gaming conventions and they're wanting to spend time playing Atari 2600 games and games on like the Lynx or on the Jaguar system and stuff like that. That's nothing close to what they have here at home, which I just think that's so cool.
Well, and then with the indie games too, like a lot of them got that retro, style to them, even though they're modern games, and so that's really cool. Like when we went in that, we went to that one convention and we had that indie showcase. Like that was really cool playing some of those games that remind me of those older games.
Yep. I want to do a I was telling somebody that my kids, they don't say it as much now, but back in the day, my kids, every time we'd say something, they'd say bet. So I was like, I need a hat that just says bet. Or bet. And I said, but I have come up with all kinds of things. But I'm telling you, the retro gaming, I make hats based off of games.
Yes. That would be another huge seller right
just
there.
Just make it just enough you know what it is.
Yeah, but like not something that might get you in trouble.
Yeah, no
exactly.
No copywritten stuff.
Like my son Joshua called Mario Brothers. He said he wanted to play Jumpman.
Yeah, well, that was the original name there.
Exactly. And he didn't know that. He wanted to play Jumpman, and that's how we potty trained that joker. I'd say use the big potty, you could play Jumpman.
You could play it.
He would love it. But yeah, I would love to have come up with some really cool concepts or whatever with some video game stuff, or maybe not that it's copywritten, but maybe if you're a like I said, if you're a Nintendo guy, old school, and then have like a Nintendo symbol or something that's symbolic to that. I don't know. I got to play around with it, but
that would be really cool.
Well, shoot, the more we do the Nerd Herd stuff, we're going to come up with 1,000,001 ideas for you to put on these hats and shirts and things like that.
I mean, there's just so many things, especially if you like, I mean, even if you just did like I could put a scene from Mario Brothers and just a bigger Mario jumping, and that wouldn't have to necessarily say anything. It'd just be a picture of it. So I got to look and see what
because I was wondering how can you do like images and various things like that.
I can do
that is really cool.
Anything.
So walk us through that process. Like, so you start off, I guess, on the computer, make your design, right? Using some sort of software.
You can go. So I've used different ones. So you can use Illustrator, you can use Canva. Canva's actually really good.
I use Canva for a lot of my stuff for my channel. Yeah.
Canva you can utilize a lot. You go to Canva and then take it into Illustrator. The only thing is with Canva, it's limited, and they're trying to fix it with like text. So like when I made this right here, when I made it in Canva, but I couldn't stretch the font the way I wanted to.
Yeah.
And so I had to bring it into Illustrator, and I took it into Illustrator, and then some of the fonts I can get on Illustrator, but I can't get because I have an Adobe account because of my photography. I couldn't get it on Canva, and some of the fonts don't match, right?
Yeah.
So, but okay, so I get an idea. So like, for example, today I did a hat design that's coming out because the guy who detailed my wife's car today, he put a little keychain Jesus in a little cloth with his card and a pack of extra gum.
Oh, that's cool.
In the middle. And it's a little keychain with those little 3D printed Jesus, little 3D Jesus. And we were laughing. I said, that's such a good, cool touch. And I said, everybody needs a little Jesus. Everybody can use a little
Jesus. Put that on a hat.
So what I did was, I put, I'll show it to you. I don't know if it'll pop up.
Need a little Jesus.
Yeah.
That's great. Hey, now you just need to make one that we can wear that just says y'all need Jesus, because we need some hats that say that around here.
Y'all need Jesus. Yeah. So I've come up with a few, and I had I've had a bunch of just fun. Okay. So you asked me how the process. So I designed something. So sometimes I'll get some ideas and run them through AI first. Okay. And then once I get through AI, I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I can find that font. Okay. I can do that. But sometimes it's messy on AI. Like, it's very rare that you can get something really good on AI.
Yeah.
You can use perfectly straight from go. So after I get my design, I save it as an SVG,
Okay.
and then I'll bring it into either Illustrator and adjust it if I need to. And then when I bring it into my program for the laser engraving, the creative space is what it's called for Xtool. I'll bring it in there, and I've got a jig for 4 or 5 patches that I designed and I 3D printed, and I stick these in there and with the blank leatherettes. And then I have to measure. You measure when you set these in there, you put the laser over this corner and you hit the button, you put the laser over the bottom corner and you get a rectangle. So then it shows you where your print area is. So then you take your design and you bring it in, and on the computer program, you kind of put it in the center and you get it to where it's like perfectly in the center. And then it'll print it. You have to adjust the power. So you have to look up like power settings so that you don't cut too deep into the leather or make it burn or anything like that. So
that's really cool.
Yeah. And then once it's done, I mean, it's the coolest thing. It's like watching 3D printing, Zach.
Yeah, that's why that's what it kind of reminded me of.
It's a lot like that.
Jess and Ty have gotten into the 3D printing thing now. Ty is printing stuff for all his friends at school. And he and Jess actually this weekend,
I need to show y'all something.
They started 3D printing those dragons.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, they look fantastic. I can't.
Well, I need to send you send you some of the dragons that I pay for. You couldn't sell them, but you could print them. They're like the crazy ones, like the bamboo, the Chinese New Year dragon. Yeah. It's like a bamboo dragon. There's like a mushroom dragon.
I had to throw this up on the screen because Scotty here had an autocorrect. He loves Canada, not canvas.
He loves Canada.
He loves Canada. So that's what happened in the chat. Everybody started going to.
Yeah, I was wondering about that one. But
our chat is active right now. They got all kinds of going on things. There's like,
look at that wand.
Yeah, one of my students 3D printed this for me.
The elder one.
Yeah.
The boys.
I got to hold it back here.
He not only 3D printed. What's that white part?
Yeah, and so he took this part, and I don't know how he did it, but he kind of, I guess use some sort of sharp tool like a pencil or something, and he kind of carved the the rune symbols that's on that part on the actual wand. Yeah. So that was really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so he brought it to school and gave it to the teachers that he knew were Harry Potter fans.
That's stinking awesome.
Yeah, so I was really happy about that.
Liz being funny in the chat.
Oh,
is that a one, or are you happy to see me?
Hey, I showed Azkhalon this earlier before you were on, Jason, and I know I mentioned it, but now that we've got Scotty here and Liz here, I wanted to show this for everybody to see real quick, because it's one of our or one of my goals for this year that we're already getting going. But whoa, new Coker Culture merch has hit the shop, and I've got the link all the way back up at the top of the stream or the stream's chat there.
How much are your shirts right now, Zach?
The t-shirts are $15 each.
Very reasonable.
And then the hoodies there are $25.
Very reasonable. Yeah.
And so the big change, because it's still the same 3 designs, but the difference now is for the t-shirts, there are 6 color options, and for the hoodies, there are 4. But I said it earlier, these costs are as cheap as they can get because we're not making any money. It's just for labor and for the materials themselves. So wanted to put that up there because that's another check on the goal list for the Coker Culture this year. And we are getting magnets and stickers that are also going to be put up on this site as well. She just hadn't gotten around to getting those there yet. I want to throw this up there real quick because Dixie asked this in the chat of what does best remove them refer to rides? Yes, best remove them doesn't refer to just any ride. It refers to Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. and
Right.
probably, the greatest instruction giving of all time there at the beginning of that with, if you're wearing hats or glasses, best remove them. And so that was actually when we first came out with shirts. A lot of my friends bought that one because they knew exactly what it was and could wear it to Disney.
So I know you said you're not making anything on these, and so you're not really getting anything. There's not, and at a $15 shirt, you're not making a killing on that anyway. I mean, really, that's not a huge markup. A $15 shirts really. So are you just is that just something you don't want to mess with as far as doing your own type of stuff and let someone else have a opportunity to do something, or is this
It was a couple of different things. There were folks that wanted it like the boys. The boys wanted Coker Culture merch, so they could say they had merch and that they could wear stuff with our logo and things like that on it. So that was one thing. And then another was, to help another local small business and to bring some business into her store and her shop and help her earn some extra money. So that's all it ever really was. And I'll wear the merch when we're out and about for, just to get eyeballs to hopefully come to it. But nothing bigger than that. And then that's why, that's why I, haven't decided to change costs or anything like that. And thank you, Liz, for ordering some Coker merch. I hope it comes to you soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna give me some new colorways.
I'm gonna have to get me a hoodie. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
we're getting out of that weather though.
Yeah.
All right, Greg's asking the big questions here. So this is a fantastic one because Jason, you're going right for sure.
Yes.
Y'all are going to go this year.
Well, and Dixie and I are trying to go. We go to HHN every year, so we're trying to go that Saturday and then go to HHN that Sunday that we're down there. So we're
so when is y'all's break?
For
September break.
Oh, so our fall break is usually in October. So we go to HHN Labor Day weekend. Usually is when we go. So since we got that Monday off, we just got to take that Friday off, and we just make it like a weekend trip. But yeah, our break's not until
down there when we're down there, Zach. Whenever we go. Yeah.
Well, and this year I'll have to figure out what we're doing because we're cruising again this break during September, but it's a Sunday to Sunday cruise. So I'm going to be exhausted. Wow. But if we're going down Saturday, maybe I'll be able to do HHN that Saturday night. But we have talked about doing Epic in June, which is insane. But the reason we've talked about doing Epic in June is I'm turning 40 in June, and we never do anything big for my birthday. I've never made a big deal out of my birthday, and I told Jess last year, I said it's 40. It's kind of a big one. I'd like to do something big, and so we initially were looking at cruises then, but cruises in June are astronomical. So it's just better to do them then. So I was like, what if I was in Epic Universe on my 40th birthday? Like, does it be awesome?
That would be epic.
Yeah, that would be epic.
So the question is, how much tax return money are we going to get? And if we can afford both the cruise and go into Epic. So we'll have to see. But okay, let's get to Greg's question because I'm curious. I'd love to know y'all's answers to this.
I'm excited for kind of two, really. I'm excited for the Ministry of Magic, of course, being a Harry Potter fan. So that's going to be really cool getting to see that. Dixie just put in Ministry of Magic. And then How to Train Your Dragon. Like, I'm really excited about that. I was excited about the Nintendo stuff, and I'm excited for all of it. But I've kind of seen the Nintendo stuff, to a certain extent, with videos from the Japan Universal Studios and stuff like that. But the How to Train Your Dragon, like that got me pretty excited when I heard about that one.
All right, Jason, what about you?
So I think the ministry. The one thing is, it's so hard to go to Universal Orlando and you go into Diagon Alley, or probably Diagon Alley more so than Hogsmeade. But when you walk through those doors, whether you come in from whatever side you come in through, it takes your breath away.
Yeah.
Like when you look at, I mean,
Yes.
you know, it's meant to be themed out, but you didn't even know it's back there. I remember the first time we went to Universal, went to the Wizarding World, we walked past the entrance to go in. We thought it was bathrooms to go through to Diagon Alley. But I remember the first time I went through there and I thought, you know, I bet you that's going to be the same feeling for the Ministry of Magic.
Yeah.
I'm hoping so anyway. And I'm excited about some new merch. I'm excited to maybe do a wand experience and go through that there and see if it's different.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited about that, but also in the same sense, I'm super excited about the How to Train Your Dragon, that dragon that's flying around.
Yeah.
If that's real or not. They've been saying that that's real, like the dragon that's been flying around. That's like a drone, but they've had it flying. Have you seen that?
Yes.
So I'm hoping.
Testing it. All right, real quick before I give my response, Liz is saying that she's out. She's headed to bed. So thanks for joining us, Liz. Appreciate you being in here for a little bit. Much appreciated.
Yep,
so here's my thought.
Chat.
I'm a little surprised that nobody said Dark Universe, because I feel like everybody and their mom's like, Dark Universe, it's HHN 24/7.
I'm excited for that one too.
Okay,
yeah.
So here's my thought, because in looking at this stuff, I kind of had an idea, or I thought I did, about my crew here and what they would be excited for. And I knew Chad would go nuts over How to Train Your Dragon, because he has loved those movies forever. I figured Ty would be huge on Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
And I've seen what that looks like. And I, for the longest, thought that was going to be the area that I was going to be the most excited about, especially the Donkey Kong Land.
Yeah.
But the more I see of what's been going on and what's been going up, I have to say, I am, with it beyond the shadow of a doubt, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk is my number one.
That's my
it looks incredible.
I don't want to go look at much of it. I've been trying not to.
Yeah, I've been trying not to look too much. Yeah, me too. Just enough to kind of know what's coming, but not have it spoiled for me. So
yeah, I don't want to be spoiled, because I think I messed up last year and watched a first person point of view from the Hagrid's ride, and it spoiled it for me a little bit. And I wish I hadn't done it. So I've been trying to stay off.
Man, when you experience that one for the first time, like.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best to stay away from any kind of POVs, especially if we're able to go in June. I don't want anything. Like I've been watching the construction and keeping up with it that way, but I haven't even been watching the Universal commercials that they've put out for stuff.
Yeah.
Because we are excited for Dark Universe. We didn't think we would be. Jess especially, because she doesn't do horror movies, but the more we see, the more excited we are. Don't shoot me, I'm not excited for the Harry Potter land. And the reason I'm excited for the Ministry of Magic ride.
Yeah.
I am over the moon excited about. I'm not excited about the land at all. With it being themed for Fantastic Beasts. Never really got into those movies. But two, it's Paris. It's themed after Paris. And both of y'all know I've done some international travel over the last 12, 13 years. I've been to Paris 4 times. I hate the city.
Do you really?
And that's the one story that gets told 1,000,001 times to kids when we're talking about going on these trips and stuff, because everybody thinks it's hysterical, because everybody loves Paris. Paris is dirty. Paris is nasty, and it's filled with people that hate everyone. So I am not going to enjoy feeling like I'm in Paris.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm so glad I haven't gone to Paris.
So
I've never gone either.
But my goal is to one day stay at that Grand Helios and be able to look out at the park whenever I want to.
Yeah.
Like if we go here in June, we're not staying there. We're going to stay at either Stella Nova or Terra Luna, just so we can get the new stuff.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid for you to go to Stella Nova, Zach. I think it's going to bring back the nightmare of the galactic starship.
Star Cruiser.
Cruiser.
I don't know why are you saying nightmare? I love the Star
You
Cruiser.
said you loved it, but like, I don't know. When I watched your video, I was like, I've watched all these other videos and I thought, did Zach really loved it? But you had little kids. You had little ones that liked it. So,
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah. And
so
I mean, and
I
they
wondered
were
if maybe that would be
everything.
different if you're an adult only going to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Well, if you do go in June, Zach, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be watching those videos until
Oh.
I have to go back months later and go back and watch your experience.
Hey, that's fine.
Because you know, Zach, he's very thorough. He's going to
Oh
show
yeah,
you
he's
everything.
gonna.
I'll do it up.
Do
I
a
will
great bit of
do-
filming.
I will
He'll
do
take
it.
that GoPro on the rides too if they'll let him.
Hey, well,
I'll
that's what I was
get
going
me
to
a
tell
mount.
you. Yeah, hey, get you one of those chesties or whatever. But
Mhm.
what we've got to do, Zach, is I've got to talk to Dallas New Era and see if they can send us on assignment because I get a press pass through them.
Do you really?
So, oh yeah. So what I
Yes,
need to do
please.
is see if she'll send me and you a press pass. We can be on assignment. Because I looked into media passes and we probably could be on media passes with our YouTube channels, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Even the Nerd Herd podcast could
Nerd
be
herd.
Nerd Herd podcast could be on assignment thing, right?
I-
But like you can apply for. Well, you've probably seen Paging Mr. Morrow. He gets a press pass.
Yeah.
And he gets to record stuff when other people
I'm
can't.
sure there's limits though, like that you've got to have a certain number of subscribers, a certain number of views, a certain number, especially for the bigger events and things like that. But yeah, if we could get the hookup with the Dallas New Era, I'm all about that. And
Well,
hey,
I don't take no for an answer. I'm always like, hey, listen, I think it goes a long way for you to show that you care what small content creators say about your things. And I mean, I'm one great post of your great park away from being viral. That's what I would say. I mean, because
have y'all seen Frankenstein's Castle?
I have not.
I'm not looking.
Okay, guys, it's whew. I've seen
to
pictures of them testing the lighting and stuff there.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I'm sure it's going to be cool, but yeah, I'm
got to touch on this. Look at Dixie asking, is Paris the New Orleans of Europe except without the friendly people? If I have any subscribers that live in France, I need people to know in France, I love your country. I love France. I love France. I hate Paris. And if there's one thing that I learned about even French people is that people that aren't from Paris hate Parisians. So it makes me, I don't know if we even have a city in America that's like that. Because I mean, when nobody hates New Yorkers, nobody hates people from Boston. But people hate Paris. And so it's just bad. And Ashley Vu is a first-time watcher. Thanks for joining the Nerd Herd, Ashley. Appreciate you coming in.
Hopefully welcome.
Entertaining for you.
So funny. Yeah. I don't know. It's just like New Orleans minus all the urine on the streets.
No. There's tons of urine on the streets.
Tons of that too.
Is it really?
Tons. Yes, it's awful. There's trash everywhere.
Do you have people laid out just drunk everywhere too? Like
yes. And then you've got the folks selling their wares illegally everywhere. And it's bad. Not their underwears, their little shot skis and stuff. All right. Look, Joe is 100% right with this. Because Hard Rock's my favorite Universal hotel. I love Hard Rock. I love it for
Hard Rock.
I love it for how close it is. I love it for their toiletries because their body wash and their shampoo is the greatest stuff ever.
Oh, really?
I steal hordes of it after staying there and bring it home. But yeah, Hard Rock is without a doubt, like during COVID and when we had our passes and we're going there all the time, that is where I wanted to stay.
I'll have to let you know how the pass holder line works because we're going next week or we're going for February break. So I have to let you know how that is. The express, I guess the annual pass holders line to go through.
When are you going down?
we're going to leave because I've got to do a Valentine's sweetheart dance on Saturday night. So we're going to leave Sunday. We'll be there Sunday to Thursday.
You guys with your winter breaks.
Yep.
We don't get that in Alabama.
Because Chad and I are driving down Valentine's night.
Oh yeah.
Down to Lakeland, and then we drive back Monday morning. So
are y'all going to the parks?
No, or we don't have any plans to right now. But Saturday, we're going to meet some friends down there for lunch, and then Saturday night is when we're scare acting at Sir Henry's.
Oh, that's right.
So we're super pumped about that. And then Sunday night, we're going back to experience the trails at Sir Henry's just as regular guests, so we can have both experiences. But my day during Sunday is wide open. So we haven't decided what we're going to do during the day Sunday. So if that means going to a park, maybe, I mean, if we're going to be in Lakeland, which is like a 45-minute drive to Disney. It's a little shorter of a drive to Busch Gardens from there. We could drive there and do like Mardi Gras there, because I know that they've got Mardi Gras and food there as well. So we'll have to see. I haven't heard from some of my friends down in Florida yet to see if they want to get together and do stuff, and that could fill up our Sunday as well. But
so are y'all going to be like scare acting in like that open area, or are y'all going to be on a trail?
No, we'll be in one of the two trails. I
That's
don't
really
know.
Cool.
All I know so far is when I need to be there and like what we need to wear ahead of time, because we'll be costumed there. They'll do our makeup there.
That's awesome.
But we won't be in the open area simply because that would be too much for Chad.
Yeah,
you know, having to be out and about and on his feet for as long as the scare actors that have to be there will. At least on trails, that won't be the case. We'll be in one location doing one thing until he gets tired and we can go take a break, and they'll have somebody else fill in that spot for us. So I'm very excited for him. You know, I'm excited to do it too, but I know that this is something that he really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful for the folks at Sir Henry's for, you know, allowing us to do this. And we'll see how much I can film. I have no
that's
idea.
what I was going to ask you. Do you know how much you're going to be able to get some footage? You'll probably definitely be able to get y'all getting in the costume and stuff like that. But.
Yeah, since we're going to be backstage pretty much, you know, behind the scenes, I'm going to ask ahead of time, you know, what's okay for me to film and what's not. I'm sure us getting costumed up, I'm sure us getting makeup on and stuff like that. I don't know, depending on where we're set up on the trail, if I'll be able to set up the camera to film us doing our scare acting or anything like that. So I don't know. So y'all will be just as surprised as me, because my goal will be
looking forward to
my goal will be to have that scare acting video out that Monday. Yeah. Like if I can come back and on Sunday at the hotel, get it all ready to load up and put it out Monday for when we're driving back, so folks can already be seeing it, and then put out our regular guest visit there or whatever else we do while we're down in Florida out on Thursday of that break.
Yeah. I really need to be putting out more content. I'm making all this stuff, these hats, and I'm recording stuff and putting it on my TikTok and stuff, but I'm not making like videos. I should be making like an actual video, but like I need to be putting content out, and I really probably should put something out every day that I'm in here doing stuff. I gotta be more consistent. It's tough after you've stayed up late, then to grab the video, and you have to wait till the next night. Cause really in most video cases, they say that you should have your video up before 6 o'clock. Cause that's the prime time. Yeah. So that's the time that most people, either during dinner or just after dinner, or when they've just gotten home, they're just unwinding. They're watching a little bit of TV before they, whatever, but they say that like, get it up before 6.
Yeah. Usually my peak time when I look at the analytics is between 6 and 8. And so I try to upload about 5:45. I've been really trying to follow that lately. With some videos.
Mine during regular weeks, I'm putting them out at 4:30. That's my go-to time, because I know several folks that I follow put videos out right at 5, And it's like, I don't want my content to get lost in that shuffle of everybody else at 5. So I try to circumvent that 30 minutes early. But the majority of mine are the same time frame, somewhere between 6 and 8, 6 and 9 o'clock. During our breaks, though, I'll shift it earlier, and I'll tend to put them out at like 9 in the morning.
Yeah,
and see if folks will, have more time during
I've also got to test the theory that I've been kind of looking at. A lot of people said make your video, put it up, make it unlisted for the first 24 hours, so that not Nintendo, so YouTube has time to kind of analyze everything and get it set up. And then when you go live with it, it's had all this time to kind of find all the audience that it finds that you're someone said
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Yes, it said that gives it 25, because even though it's unlisted, YouTube is working behind the scenes to go, okay, who would like this video? Are there people? And then when it goes out, you have a better chance of getting into someone's recommendations. So I've not tested this yet. I watched a video on it, and it said, yeah, put it on your, post it, let it do its thing. Because if you've got any kind of issues, you don't want to know that. But it said, let it run its stuff. And then I've also, I don't know if y'all do, but I also bought, or I pay for vidIQ now.
I had it, and I learned some stuff from it, but I do have, so I had to boost, I think it was Boost.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I got rid of it for a while, but then they gave a super discount, and it's like lifetime for it. And I think I have Boost again, or the one before. I can't remember. I have to look.
Yeah, but it can be nice too. It's actually been pretty good, and I've kind of figured out a few things, but I've not really been testing it like I should. I gotta be better about it, because I helped a friend get started, Zach. She's called Review This or Review This Thing. It's her name. Her and her husband run it, and they do like gun reviews and hunting equipment reviews.
That's cool.
And I helped her kind of figure out how to get started. She has like almost 30,000 followers right now.
Holy.
And she goes, you're the expert on this. Back when I had like 3,000 subs, she says, you're the expert, and I'm asking you. Now she's got like almost 30,000 subs, and she's killing it. I thought, you don't need my help, sister.
She found a good area to make videos about.
Yeah. Apparently there's a lot of folks.
She's one of Sarah's friends she grew up with, and they review hunting gear, and people send them like stuff, and they go to these hunting shows and review and talk to people and interview them. And I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. So yeah, I wish I was into something like that, kind of interesting that, people may enjoy videos about. But I like video games, but there's a lot of people that make videos about video games. So an overly saturated market. But
well, guys, it's almost 10:45. And we started this, we started this stream past my bedtime.
Already, yeah.
So I think it's about time we call this one. For God bless the folks that decide to watch the Nerd Herd movie going forward when it comes out on replay. But anything
my fault.
Anything y'all want to throw out here at the end?
No. The only thing I would just say is that if you live your life with positivity. I was talking to several people this week, and they go, nothing good ever happens to me. And I always tell them, I said, that's not true. I mean, good things happen to you all the time. It's just the way you look at it. And then we've all are guilty of doing it sometimes. But I told my wife this week, I said, we're very blessed every day. And our blessings may be bigger, smaller than other people's, but those don't make any less. But I always said, I hate when I have friends that say nothing ever good happens to me. If this happened, you're always so lucky. Things always happen to you. You're always so lucky, Jason. I'm like, that is not true. That is not true. I just choose to look at things a lot differently. I think that every bad thing is just an opportunity for something better to come along. And I just want everybody out there that watches and listens to this, don't live your life looking up to what other people have or what they do. Those small little blessings in your life, just kind of, someone said something the other day that said, you get the opportunity to do something every day. It's what you do with it. There's all these people that, I hate to say it this way, but they woke up dead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they don't have that opportunity. We have an opportunity to do this show. We didn't have to do it. We had the opportunity to. You know, I've gotten to meet Az now, who's so amazing. I would have never met you had we not done this.
Yeah.
So I always tell everybody, just don't look at life like, okay, you had a wreck this week or this happened. Well, you know, it's just all part of life. I want people to kind of look at things differently. Don't look at bad things that happen and think it's the end. It's just an opportunity for the comeback, or it's an opportunity to show people how to act when things are not going well for you. I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking a lot about with my friends, because I'll have a buddy of mine. He's like, oh, my house, I had my pipes blew and I should have known. And you know, if I don't have bad luck, I have no luck. And I was like, you know, you should have died 2 years ago when you had a surgery and you didn't. So that's a blessing. You're that guy who's waiting for a sign from God and you keep ignoring it. You know, you gotta have those small victories, little things that are, you know, whether it's just time spending with friends like this, or, you know, I don't know. I could go on a tangent, but and our next show, I do have some big stuff for us to talk about, and I really do, and I think it'll be good. But I'm sorry I was late tonight, y'all.
Azkhalon, when are we going to learn to not let Jason
Let him go first? I was just thinking.
The second
Like,
he
how do you
started,
follow
I
that
was
up?
like, we got to follow Jason again.
But no, I was actually going to piggyback off of what you said, Jason, because I was going to talk about just try to focus on, you know, the positive things in your life. I had a student open up to me this past week, the other day, and I don't want to go into details about what he told me, but basically it involved his father and some hurtful things that his father said to him. And, you know, and this is a good kid, you know, just not the best home life. But you know, he makes really good grades. He has a girlfriend he really cares about. He's trying to get this job. And so I was like, yeah, focus on those things. Focus on the positives, you know, try not to dwell so much on the negative stuff. And, you know, he opened up to me about, you know, he said, I've been crying so much this past week. And I said, hey, even though we're men, sometimes you got to let that out. And then
for
like,
sure.
you know, and then take that. And then, okay, what are some of these positive things that I can latch on to? What are some of these positive things that I can focus on? The good stuff that I got in my life, because I got all this other crap that, you know, I'm having to deal with. And I mean, it was just listening to him. You know, he's gone through so much at 14 years old that, you know, some adults have never had to experience. I mean, he is like an adult already, the things that he's going through. But we had a really good talk, and I was like, man, you got me about to cry, you know,
yeah.
these different things. But yeah, he seemed really good after our talk, and I'm hoping
at the right place at the right time, man.
Yeah,
You're at the right
and
place.
that's the beauty about our job too. What we do, we
Yeah.
get to do as teachers, you know, get to be those, you know, those people that influence students and be those positive forces in their lives that they need, because at home they may not have that. So so I'm glad you did go first this time, Jason, because I wanted to piggyback off of
that.
And here's what I'll say. You know, over the course of the last 2-3 weeks, really, you know, I've finally started to see a lot of the interconnectedness of YouTube and the YouTube community, and how awesome people can be that want to come together and support each other in various different formats and ways, and with, you know, all kinds of different content, which is fantastic. And it reminds me of a quote that, and I've talked about this in class this week too, because it's a Truett Cathy quote. And it's always been one of my favorites. And Truett Cathy, he said, if you're not in the business, or if you are not in the business of making chicken and serving chicken, then you need to be supporting somebody that is. And that's always stuck with me. I know it sounds corny, but it's that idea of, if you're not in direct competition, you need to be supporting each other, and we all need to lift each other up and help each other in whatever ways we can. Again, that goes back to why I'm angry about the membership stuff with YouTube. But I left Greg's comment up here because he's absolutely right. Do good, and good tends to come back. And I also left that up so, Jason, you'll remember to go subscribe to Greg, because you will lose the rest. You will lose the rest of your weekend to Greg's content. I guarantee.
I did subscribe earlier.
I mean it. I'm gonna go upstairs right now when my wife will stop like kissing all over my face. I'm going to watch some of Greg's content. I'm kidding.
Don't have that issue here.
I hope my wife's not watching this. She's like, whatever, sucker.
If she's like my wife, she's asleep. So
Probably so, yeah.
yes, here's what I will say: we can't meet next week because I'm going out of town. Jason's going out of town. Maybe the week after, depending on how you're doing, Jason.
Yep.
As far as being back from Disney, if you're not worn out, we
I'm
could
good.
meet. But we can definitely do it in not next weekend, but 2 weekends.
Yep.
And you've got something, and then I want to see that we maybe not for next time, but we got to see if we can plan this because I think it would be great, and I think the folks that watch this would love it. But it's going to take some convincing. We need to see if we can get Jess and Dixie and Sarah on here with us.
Oh, Dixie, I love it.
Yeah, Dixie. I have a feeling Dixie won't have an issue. It's Jess and Sarah because they're the same people. But
listen, maybe I could get her to sit right here. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. She
I'm
might
surprised
do it.
Dixie hasn't popped in yet.
Dixie already wrote. She's down.
I know. She came in last time. She was like, "Hi, hey."
Yeah. So yeah, I know she would be fine with it
because I think that would be interesting to have all of them here with us as we talk about various things.
Oh, here she comes.
Oh, there she is. Hey, Dixie.
I love it. I love it.
But
That's
all
awesome.
right. Well,
you made the stream.
y'all want to do your closing so we can let these poor people go to bed.
Yep. Go ahead, Az.
Y'all take care. Peace. Go to sleep. That's all I got.
Yep.
All right, guys. We love you. Thank you for sticking around with us tonight. We hope we were able to make your Saturday night fun. And until next time, what's your why?
Do hard things. Do hard things.